Hi everyone, it's Laura here from Making Cards is Fun, and today I'm sharing a cute monkey box card pop-up featuring Heffy Doodle themes and Lawn Fawn dice. Since I recently joined the Heffy Doodle design team, I thought it would be fun to celebrate with my subscribers. So Heffy Doodle kindly offered a discount code that will take 10% off your order, and I also get to give away a random Heffy Doodle prize pack. For a chance to win, simply leave a comment on this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. The giveaway is open internationally, so everyone can participate. The winner will be announced here in the video description and also in my Instagram stories next Monday. So without further ado, let's get started on this card. For today's card, I'll be using the Chimply the Best Steam set from Heffy Doodle. I'm going to start out by positioning all of the stamps using my original Misty tool. I'll be stamping these images on Neenah Solar White 110 pound heavy cardstock using Memento Tuxedo black ink. This time I used my Misty tool because I was already sure which stamps I wanted to use, so it was really easy to stamp them all at once instead of using an acrylic block to stamp each stamp separately. For the monkey, I'm using E27, E57, and E55. These are Copic sketch markers and I use them in I think every single video I upload here because I just love working with them so much. For their bellies and their little faces, I'm using E50 and E51, and I am also going in with the R11 marker to add some color to his little tongue and also to add a little bit of color and a life to his cheeks. And I think that this monkey is just so adorable. It's my favorite from the entire stamp set. For my bananas, I'm using Y19, Y18, and Y13. And then I'm also going in with E57 and E55. Next, for the leaves, I'm using YG09, YG06, and YG03. This is my favorite green Copic color combination, and I think I have to refill these markers pretty soon because I use this combo a lot. Using the same shades of brown to color the rest of this vine, so I'm using E27, E57, and E55. Now that I colored all of my images, it's time to cut them out. I like to use the coordinating dies and I like to keep them in place using purple masking tape. You can also fuzzy cut your images or use a Brother Scan and Cut machine, but I just use coordinating dies every single time, and the die cutting machine I use is the Spellbinder's Platinum 6. Now that I've finished my images, it's time to do some ink blending. So I die cut these panels from the Lawn Fawn Scalloped box card pop-up die cut set. I believe that these dies, these stitched frames, are from the add-on set. But I die cut these rectangles twice out of Neenah Solar White cardstock, and now I am using my Tailored Expressions blending brushes to add color to these panels. So on the top, I'm going in with Peacock feathers, and then on the bottom, I'm going in with Salty Ocean. And as you can see, I switch back and forth between these two shades in order to get a really smooth blend. So like I mentioned, these brushes are from Tailored Expressions and I have used them quite a lot now and I really like these. So far, these are the best blending brushes I have tried until now. So I'm just finishing off by going back in with my Salty Ocean ink, then just a tiny little bit more of Peacock feathers, and then I am going to spray some water in my hand and flick these little splatters to my cardstock because that will create a nice effect. So there you go. By the way, this isn't watercolor paper, this is just Neenah Solar White cardstock. Next, I'm going to die cut these panels that will go inside the box out of green cardstock, and I die cut these twice. Now I am going in with a Grassy die border, border die I mean, from Heffy Doodle. This is from their Grassy Last Border die cut set. And I also die cut the two main box panels. So I die cut the main box panel twice. But on the inside of the little box, you can't really see it on camera, but on the inside of the box, I saw like these little cracks and little lines from my plates from my die cutting machine. So I'm just going to do some partial die cutting so I can die cut those scalloped panels once more, and then I can adhere those to the inside of my box card just to cover up those little imperfections. So I'm just doing some partial die cutting by lining that up with the edge of my cutting plate. Then I can just easily use my scissors and my paper trimmer to trim it down to the perfect size of the inside of my scalloped card box. And there's this little score line. You can't really see it on camera, but use that as a guide, and then you will have then it will be perfect, then it will fit perfectly in the inside of your box card. Now that I did all of my die cutting, it's time to assemble this pop-up card box. First, I am folding along the scored lines, and I am leaving the forward flap unfolded because this will form the back of the box, so you don't have to fold that. It will be easier if you leave it unfolded. I'm applying double-sided adhesive to both tabs, and this is, I'm not sure what the brand is called from this double-sided adhesive, but I will link to it in my video description below. So I'm going to form the box by just adhering this. So I adhered one tab to the other, and before folding the actual box, I am going to adhere those little inside panels using my Scotch ATG. So these are the panels that I partially die cut just a minute ago. So now you won't see those little imperfections, and it will be nice and smooth. I'm repeating the same steps for my grassy border, so I am folding along the scored lines. Then I am applying my double-sided adhesive, and you can adhere these little tabs while the box is unfolded, but I wasn't really sure where I was going with this box card. I wasn't even sure if I wanted to use those grassy borders, so I just went ahead and adhered the tab of one panel to the other, and then I repeated that to close my little box. So there you have your pop-up card box, and now it's ready to be decorated. So again, I wasn't really sure where I was going with this, so before adhering my inside tabs, I went ahead and adhered these ink blended panels using my Scotch ATG, and then I finally decided I wanted to use the two grassy borders. So I'm just going to try to position that perfectly straight. It's not that easy when you already folded your box. It's actually easier if you do it before you fold the box, but it still turned out fine, so I just went with it. Okay, so after adhering my little tabs on the inside of the box, I decided I wanted to do some heat embossing. So I am going to prep my little ink blended panel using my We Are Memory Keepers powder tool. You can also use a little powder bag or kitchen flour. And then I am going to stamp my sentiments. Now, since I already folded my box, it's not that easy to stamp a sentiment. So I needed a sturdy surface to stamp. So I just used some Distress Oxide ink pads, and then I held my panel down using some purple tape, and then I can go ahead and stamp my sentiment using Versamark ink. So this is all of the stuff that I do to make a card. When I make a card, or when I start making a card, I usually don't really know where I want to go with it. I never or I rarely sketch out an idea when I make a card, so I just go with it, and usually it takes me about 3 to sometimes even 6 hours to finish a card because I just change my mind all the time. Now that I have my sentiments, it's time to decorate this little box. So I'm going to adhere my little monkeys, the bananas, and the stars that I colored on my box card using my Lawn Fawn glue tube and also some foam squares. And now that I talked a little bit about my creative process, I thought it would be fun to hear from you guys how you make a card. So, do you sketch out an idea beforehand, or do you just pick out some supplies and then go from there? Because I think that this is different for everyone. And I mean, as long as we have fun, I think that anything goes. Okay, so just want to talk about this little monkey over here. It actually has two little slits, so you can actually put that little banana in his hands. And I think that's just so adorable. I think he looks so cute. And now that I adhered all of my images, my cute monkey pop-up card box is complete. As you can see, you can close that box up and then you can fold it open and then everything will pop out. And I think it's just so adorable. There you go. Thank you so much for stopping by today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and click the notification bell below. I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.